Hello friend, welcome back to Total Maintenance YouTube channel. I'm putting together this 1998 Toyota Tacoma after the head gasket job, right? It's a 4-cylinder engine and it has that 3RZFE, it's a 2.7 liter, and that gives me last opportunity on this, because I'm behind because of the filming and playing too much with it, opportunity to show you how to correctly install and set that timing chain tensioner. I already filmed it for you on different engine, but nobody could see that setting because there was no visual of it. So this is great opportunity, right, to answer all those questions of the people. They're like, well, what happens there? We will actually be able to see it. So when this hydraulic chain tensioner comes out, right, when I pulled it out, it was extended. It wasn't locked like you hear it here. So I have to push on this. I don't want to do it again. I had to push on that, and that ratcheting system, right, which is hidden, it allowed me slowly push that piston in and grab it by this hook. And when you do that, be ready, out of this little hole, which you see right there, you see it? It pukes all that oil on you. So have a rag or something, right, when you are doing it, because there's a lot of oil inside and it will come out in your hand. This is a part which doesn't have to be replaced if you do these jobs and can be reused, right? In all these, what I will show you right now, we will follow factory repair manual. So installation begins with removing that old gasket, right? I need to get rid of it because I have new gasket on the table behind me, and we will not reusing the old one that could create leaks, oil leaks in the future. You are looking on this engine from the passenger side, right? Here is that new gasket, and Toyota clearly says this notch needs to go towards the front of the vehicle. So I use the rag, and I will do it one more time. Clean this area, right? The gasket was stuck on the tensioner itself, so I don't need to be scraping it off, and I'm installing the new gasket. Perfect, it's ready, and this is slightly overhanging in the front, and that's correct. I'm standing here above the garbage can, and I'm still trying to get that old gasket off, right? So I don't have any remainings. It was like a paper gasket, and it's completely baked to that tensioner. So most likely removing the old gasket will be the longest part of this install and setting. Unbelievable. So I finally cleaned it enough to my satisfaction, and I'm ready to install it. And you don't need to worry which way, because Toyota made it foolproof and it goes in actually only one way. Not surprisingly, right, this is on the top, so we will be able to see it. So I will insert it carefully in, right? And we will install these two nuts, and they will be torqued to 21 Newton meters. These nuts and the studs were pretty rusty, so I will put just tiny little amount of anti-seize on it, right? I try to clean them with a steel brush, so it's good, right? But there's a surface rust on them. So I will go ahead first by the hand only, right? And equally, I want a nice fit. I want that tensioner slowly and equally squeeze that gasket which is underneath it for the perfect seal and no oil leaks. So what did I say? Can you remind me what was how many Newton meters? What did you say, 21? Alright, I will think so. So again, hand tight, right? Oh, you see, this one needed more. Now I will start carefully using the torque wrench. Okay, it's slowly coming down. And when I start feeling resistance, I know it takes more time, but it's worth it, right? To have the gasket perfectly seated. I'd rather spend 1 more minute and not have any oil leaks in the future. I'm getting close. Okay, that was 21. 21, recheck this one. Okay, boom, and that's it. Perfectly installed. And now comes the moment, opportunity, right? All you have been waiting for. So I will zoom in so you can see that tensioner there, right? A little bit problem here, but do you see it? Yep, and it's still hooked, right? That hook is holding. Oh my god, the lighting. Maybe right now, yeah, you can see it nicely. It's still hooked. So what's the procedure? This is what the factory repair manual says, right? Number 7, set chain tensioner. Turn the crankshaft to the left so that the hook of the chain tensioner is released from the pin of the plunger, causing the plunger to spring out and the slipper, which is that slider, right, to be pushed into the chain. So let's go and do that. I changed the lighting, so hopefully you will be able to see it. Hopefully I can hold that camcorder, right, nicely, so you can observe that area. Now we will be breaking the rules. Why? Because we are always told never turn these engines to the left, which is anti-clockwise, right? Always turn them only to the right, which means clockwise. Well, let's go and see. There is a breaker bar, right? I will try to show you. Toyota, as you saw, didn't say how much you're supposed to turn it. What's the degrees and so on. So let's see if it will spring to the action, right? If it will get released right away. And what's the angle, right? So, sorry. Let's go. I'm turning. Look at that. Boom. So I turned only so little, right? And already that hook is completely off, right? You see it? And if I will go clockwise, which I will do after this, so again the angle was what? It's not even 45, it's like 30. So let's observe it, what will happen. Sorry for that shakiness, but I'm trying my best to film it. I cannot put a tripod here. So is it focused? Maybe right here. So I'm going right now clockwise. Did you hear that? I'm glad I was quiet. So immediately it released itself. Look, the whole thing is start moving. And we have tension on that slider, right? That's the slider. There are 2 of them, 1 on each side. So you perfectly just witness correctly setting, timing, chain tensioner. Wasn't that fun? If for some reason that didn't work on this exact application, Toyota gives you a hint, right? This is 2RZFE or in our case 3RZFE. They say at the very end of this chapter, hint, if the plunger does not spring out, press the slipper into the chain tensioner with a screwdriver or your finger so that the hook is released and the plunger springs out. And that's it from me, my friend. Look how much work is still ahead of me. And it's Friday and I wanna have this truck running this afternoon. So that might be the last video from this project. But you know, I have more projects to film for you, right? For example, this Scion. So there will be always video coming your way soon. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend, my friend.